Hello and welcome back to the Illegally Cited YouTube channel. This is BGFH here, and I thought I would switch things up a little bit. I'm going to take a little break from gaming, and over the next few videos I'd like to cover some assistive technology that I find myself using on a regular basis and that some of you may or may not have used before or may not be too aware of. So with this video we'll get started, and the first feature I want to talk about is Windows Magnifier. Now this feature has been in Windows since Windows XP for sure, and I can't remember if they had it in Windows 98 or not, but I want to say it was Windows XP where they really put it in. But it really wasn't that good. You know, you just had this little strip of text across the screen in a little bar, but that was it. Same with Windows Vista. Windows 7 has introduced full screen magnification, which comes in very handy. It comes in every version of Windows, whether it's Home, Home Premium, Professional, 32, 64-bit, whatever. It comes free in every version, so it's great. We'll get started here. I'll demonstrate how to use it, how to turn it on, how to change a few settings, and a couple other odds and ends here. And before I do so, I just want to let you know that I am using some new video recording software to do this Windows stuff, because Fraps, while it works well in a full screen video game, it doesn't seem to really want to work on the Windows desktop and other little programs like that. So we're using something a little different here. I'm getting used to it. So and when I zoom in with the magnification, if it does look a little bit choppy, it's because of the video, not actually the magnifier. The magnifier actually is very smooth, pretty much on every machine I've tried it on. It's just the video codec, the video compression, that is making it choppy, if that actually happens at all. So with that, we'll get started. To start the Windows Magnifier, you can do it through the control panel, but I would recommend just using the keyboard commands to do it, because it's much faster, and it's just, you can control things. You don't have to go switching between windows or anything. You can just, boom, take care of it. So to start it, we'll hit the Windows key and the plus key. Boom, there we go. We have full screen magnification. Now the Windows key, down the lower left of the keyboard, a couple keys in, and the plus key, you can either use the number pad plus key, or you can use the plus key that's the plus equals key right next to the backspace key if you are on a laptop that does not have a full numeric keypad. So you hit Windows plus to turn it on. If you want to zoom in or out, you just the Windows plus again, boom, boom, boom. Now we're a lot bigger. Windows minus, again, you can use the minus on the number pad or the dash right by the backspace key in the main part of the keyboard. Windows minus, dash, whatever. Smaller, bigger. Now, the other thing you may notice, if you're used to other screen magnification products like ZoomText, Magic, Supernova, whatever, Windows Magnifier does not do font smoothing right now. So as I zoom in further here, you may notice some of the graphics, some of the text, it looks a little jagged, a little pixelated, and the more you zoom in, the more you're going to notice that. So ZoomText, for instance, adds a little layer of, they do a little font cleanup, a little font smoothing as they call it, so that it's a little bit cleaner to read. That said, at least for me, I really don't have trouble reading the magnified text because of the pixelation. The text is still pretty clear, and I really don't have too much of a problem reading it. So if I want to turn off screen magnification, screen magnifier, I can use the Windows key again, hold the Windows key down, hit escape. Windows escape turns it off. Now if I want to turn it on again, the nice thing is I'll do Windows plus. We're back at full screen magnification, and we're back at the last level of magnification that I chose. So, you know, if you find yourself at a certain magnification level that you like, and then, you know, you turn it off so another friend or family member can use your computer, next time you turn it on, even after you reboot your computer, it will be back where you like it. So that is how you use the Windows magnifier. Now you may have noticed down in the lower left hand corner of my screen, it may be in a different location in your screen, it may be somewhere in the middle, but you got this little magnifying glass. That's actually the little program window for the Windows magnifier. I'm going to click on it, and actually I'm going to pull it up here just a tad so you can see it better. So as I said, you could go into the window and use your plus and minus keys here to adjust the screen magnification, but really why would you if you can just boom, you know, use your keyboard commands. Oops, went away there. If you don't leave the mouse on it, it disappears after a while. So if I click this little drop down box, I get a few choices for full screen magnification, lens, just different views that I can choose, similar to like a Magic or Zoom Text. I prefer full, it's just easier for me to see. Then over here you got a little gear thing, that's your settings. Now I am going to go into that for a minute, and I'm going to move this back out of the way. So we got a little slider up here, and then we've got a little invert. So a lot of visually impaired users find it easier to read a lot of text, whether it's an email or Word document, internet, web page, whatever, if you have black text or dark background and light text. So check this box, and now most of my content, like I said, Word, our Office program, email, internet, I'll have a nice black background. If you're on an image-heavy website, or with the web in general, or looking at pictures, you know, there's my little logo for my wallpaper. That's going to look all funny. So if you're doing something really image-heavy or looking at a lot of pictures, you may just want to pop it back to normal, non-inverted color scheme. And like I said, you're not going to have a lot of the other custom enhancements like Magic or Zoom Text has, where you can choose really any color combination you could possibly want, or, you know, change a whole bunch of, you know, cursor mouse color kind of things. But you can at least get a inverted color background. So now these three options here, the first one, when you run it for the first time, it will be checked, and because you want and you do want to leave that checked, because it's going to follow the mouse cursor as I move around, so the magnifier will follow it. These other two, however, are not checked, and I would recommend checking them, because if I go into a Word document or an email or anywhere that I'm really typing a lot of text, one of the problems that I originally had with Windows Magnifier, and I didn't really realize it because I really didn't poke around the program that much, I just turned it on and went, was that when I typed in one of those things, I would find that, you know, every time I was typing and the cursor went off, the cursor would just go off the screen, and I would keep typing. So every time I do it, I'd have to keep moving the text over and moving it over and then moving it back, and that was really kind of annoying, really frustrating. But you want to check these boxes here, and that'll take care of that for you. So now you can type, and the screen will follow along with you just as you would want or expect it to. So I'm going to cancel out of that because I don't want to change anything. But that is your your Windows Magnifier program. That's really all there is to it. And just for a little quick review, you got your Windows Plus to turn it on, your Windows Plus and minus to adjust your screen magnification, and Windows Escape to turn it off. And remember, you can use your number pad or the keys up by your backspace key for your plus and minus. So if you don't have a full number pad, you're still covered. And you can use those keys interchangeably. So if you choose one and then another time you choose the other, that's totally fine. And before I go, I want to make one other note about the Windows 7 magnifier. If you are using a screen reader like JAWS or Window-Eyes or Supernova, unfortunately you cannot use Windows 7 magnifier in its full screen. And the reason this is because, you know, JAWS or Window-Eyes, what it'll do is not only does it install its own little video hooks or video drivers, what it also does is it disables a lot of the little extra effects that Windows turns on or has on by default, like the little transparencies you see down on the taskbar or on the title bars of Windows. It turns a lot of these little, extra little transition and extra, little whiz-bang visual features off. And a lot of those features are part of the Windows Aero system scheme. Now, the Windows magnifier, you actually need Windows Aero to be active. You need the Windows Aero system scheme to be active in order for full screen magnification to work. So because a screen reader will typically turn that off, you have to use either a full screen magnifier if you want magnification and speech like that. So if you were to use the Windows magnifier while, let's say, you had JAWS on, you would get the traditional bar across the top of the screen like you did in Windows XP or Windows Vista. So it kind of works, but if you want full screen magnification, unfortunately, you're out of luck right now. I know Windows 8 is, from what I've heard, they're ditching a lot of the kind of Windows 7, Windows Aero stuff, and they're doing things a little bit differently. And so I haven't gotten a chance to try, let's say, using JAWS with the Windows magnifier in Windows 8 yet to see if maybe they will work together, maybe something will have changed. One can hope, but I don't know that yet, so I will try to let you guys know when I do find that information out. But like I said, if you're in Windows 7 for now, you have to turn your screen reader off if you do want to use full screen magnification. And with that, that'll wrap up my first little assistive technology video. Hopefully you found it interesting or informative. I said, if you have any questions, just let me know with the comments below. And the next couple of videos, I'm going to go into some other assistive tech that hopefully you find interesting as well. Maybe you have or haven't heard of it before, but I'll leave that for the next video. So until then, I will talk to you guys later.